Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to today's Service Management Community Webcast. Today we've got Rajiv Kumar here from Product Management, and Rajiv is going to be talking to us about the new Jaspersoft report server that's being used for service management. Just to let everyone know, your line is on mute. You can unmute yourself to ask a question by pressing #6. And then please mute your line after your question by pressing *6. Again, to unmute is #6, and to mute is *6. You can also use the Q&A function and ask a question there. We'll be monitoring that throughout the call. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Rajiv.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Can you confirm if you can hear me fine?
You're good.
Perfect. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Rajiv Kumar. I work on the product management team for CA Service Management Solution. And today we'll be talking about CA Business Intelligence JasperReports Server 6.2 for service management that was made generally available late last week. So as you might have seen through community announcements and the letters that were sent to all service management customers, that on March 31st, 2016, we removed CA Business Intelligence 4.1, which was built on top of SAP Business Objects BI technology from our solution, and the DVDs were removed from the download pages. And this was because of a broader CA decision when we were moving away from SAP Business Objects-based reporting technology. The CABI 4.1 related media is no longer available from our download pages. However, if you purchased service management solution prior to March 31st, 2016, you will continue receiving support around CABI 4.1 until December 31st, 2018. And if you need media for CABI 4.1, you can reach out to our support team to obtain a copy if you need that in future. For customers who purchased service management solution after April 1st, 2016, the default reporting technology for them would be CABI 6.2, which is based on TIBCO Jaspersoft technology. That technology is going to be our default technology for service management. All reporting capabilities would be delivered by CABI 6.2 going forward. And like I said earlier, it is currently available for download from CA Support Online. You can go to the product download pages, and there is a new DVD added for CABI 6.2, which also includes out-of-the-box reporting content on the new technology. So you might be thinking, why CABI 6.2? Why did we move away from SAP Business Objects, and why TIBCO Jaspersoft? So when we were moving away from SAP Business Objects technology, it was an opportunity for CA and various product groups in CA to factor in the needs that were voiced by our customers in the past. And those needs were around lightweight, self-service BI drag-and-drop capabilities and easy reporting and dashboarding capabilities, and something which supports multi-tenancy architectures, provides OLAP analysis and things like those, and can be dropped in applications in a seamless fashion as if the reports and analytics content were tailored in the application. Now TIBCO Jaspersoft delivers on those business needs, and that was the time for us to go ahead and change the default reporting technology and build it on top of TIBCO Jaspersoft, which is not just easy to set up and administer, but it provides with a self-service BI capability, which would enable business decision makers to create drag and drop based ad hoc views, reports, put reports together into dashlets and hook those dashlets and reports into applications as if those views were created in native applications. So it provides a highly embeddable reporting infrastructure, which is scalable, which is centralized in terms of administration and maintenance. It provides multi-tenant architecture, which would help MSP customers to adopt it seamlessly. And its OLAP analysis engine is powerful, yet very lightweight and easy to manage. So these are the factors that drove our decision in favor of TIBCO Jaspersoft technology, and now it's available for your use. In this first release, we have limited but very valuable content set that we have included for different service management products. Late last year, we conducted a survey, both for customers as well as our field colleagues in CA, to evaluate the top reports, top out-of-the-box reports that we provided with CABI 4.1, and that would make the most sense to include in the first release of CABI 6.2. And these are the reports that were voted very high by a number of customers and internal CA colleagues. So what we have in this release are a couple of dashboards that were added in 14.1 release. These dashboards are around service demand and operational effectiveness that provide metrics around effort, cost, count of tickets, and analyst queues and groups, and measure, first SCR kind of metrics all in one place. And then there are a number of SDM reports across change, problem, incident, and request management in this first release. There are a bunch of service catalog reports that were voted very high in the survey, and they are included. And then there are a bunch of asset portfolio management reports as well in the first content delivery. We do plan to add more content as we move down the line, but we wanted to include this limited but very useful content set to get started. All these reports included in the out-of-the-box content set are built using Jaspersoft Studio technology, which enables report developers, power user type of persona, who are familiar with the data schema and who can create pixel-perfect reports that are very custom-tailored, very targeted for a particular need. These are the reports that can be built by developers, BI developers, and be made available for executive users who do not really need to tweak or change the reports. This is one example of the out-of-the-box report, which is built in Studio. For the most part, it can be accessed much like how CABI 4.1 reports were accessed in Web Intelligence. You can go to the report library, pick a report, provide the input values or the filter values in the beginning, and it takes you to the report details where you view charts and the tabular views, and it provides you pagination and stuff like that. There are also reports that do not require input conditions or the first level of filtering, and they directly take you to the charts and tables based on the queries, based on the conditions that were written by the developers. So the Studio technology enables developers, the report developers, to build very custom-tailored, targeted report, and it requires the user to understand the underlying schema and code the query behind the scene, determine the chart type, and deliver pixel-perfect reports. The other side of content development technology is self-service BI, where developers and power users create semantic layer called domains, where end users can achieve a drag and drop based ad hoc analysis, or they can create reports, build dashboards from various reports, and use it going forward. That enables self-service BI. So using the tool, you can create your domains, enable self-service BI in your environment. However, we haven't included any content based on that capability in this first release. So the next is you have a lot of CABI 4.1 content in your environment, and how do you go about moving that to CABI 6.2? So the first thing to keep in mind is CABI 4.1 would continue to be supported until December 31st, 2018. So this is not a rush situation, but we do recommend that you start planning and evaluation around migrating your existing CABI 4.1 content to CABI 6.2. Like we saw earlier, CABI 6.2 is much easy to use, much easy to learn, and the migration exercise can be achieved easily in-house by content developers. But if you don't want to migrate reports in-house, you can certainly engage CA services to deliver the migration offering and migrate your custom content from the old technology to the new technology. As a recommendation, this is a good time to review your existing content set and prune the things that you don't need anymore before you move your report set to the new technology. Besides all that, you can always submit report content ideas to our communities that would probably benefit the broader customer base, and the product team would take a look at those ideas, prioritize them for future delivery, the ones that would benefit the broader customer base. So that's another route to convey your out-of-the-box reporting needs to the product team. So to learn more about this technology, you can go to the Service Management DocOps Wiki, where we have documented the implementation, administration, related guidance, as well as we have provided a set of out-of-the-box reports in the wiki. Through the DocOps Wiki, you can also access details about CA education courses that we are building and will be available soon around this new technology, as well as information about how to access TIBCO Jaspersoft online learning portal that is available to all our customers without any additional cost. And the TIBCO Jaspersoft online learning portal provides a lot of rich content and materials around how to use the technology, how to build content, how to administer, and things like those. So we recommend that you go ahead and take a look at the Jaspersoft online learning portal and get going from there. We have also published some articles. Most important is the FAQ that we have added to the service management community, where you can ask questions, voice your needs, and any questions around the adoption of the technology, or the future of CABI 4.1 support. So any question that you have around that topic can be voiced in the FAQ article, and we would get back to you through the community. Today we wanted to just cover the basic information, where to download the media from, the information around support and all, where to look for additional materials, and then open the floor for Q&A. So I guess I'm done with the content. We can just go ahead and open the line and take questions here.
again, to ask a question, you can go ahead and unmute your line by pressing #6. And then to mute, you can use *6. That's #6 to unmute your line. Also, you can ask questions. We're answering questions in the Q&A as well. Rajiv, maybe you want to go ahead and just take some of those that are in the Q&A, and we can answer some verbally.
Yep. So I see that John has already answered a couple of questions at the top. The one which is not answered is, can CABI 4.1 and 6.2 run concurrently? And the answer is yes. If you are configuring CABI 4.1 on, let's say, server 1 and CABI 6.2 on server 2, you can hook it to the same SDM instance or same MDB, so they can work concurrently in the same environment. Is there an ETA for when a standard setup.exe will be made available to handle the Jaspersoft installation? I see that John has already addressed that question. We don't have an ETA for this currently, but that is a high priority item on the list and is being looked into at this time. Yeah, and we are looking at automating the installation procedure and a number of administration activities in a future release of CABI 6.x. It would probably be 6.2.x or maybe 6.3. Next question is from Nora. What about the support automation reports? Currently, in the first content set, we do not have anything for support automation. So, great question, Nora. We would, as we build content, support automation is a little lower on our priority list at this point in time. But if you think that there are support automation reports that will be valuable for the broader customer base, please do let us know through communities so that we can prioritize it up for future content delivery. The next one is from James. Will you send a link to those registered to attend? James, if the question is there. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, this is about the recording. We do post them to the community site, James. We will be sending out a link to anyone's registered email that registered with the WebEx to your email address as well.
Question from Fabiano is, we are scared there will be no migration tool. We have hundreds of reports. So first of all, let's not look at it as something which has to be done tomorrow or in the next week. If you are currently running with CABI 4.1 with hundreds of reports, continue using that. It will be supported until December 2018. And you can plan your migration effort in a phased manner. There'll be no migration tool which will automatically transition CABI 4.1 reports to CABI 6.2. That migration tool is not feasible. It's technically not feasible. So, there are various options here, like we discussed on the migration slide. You can ramp up the CABI 6.2 knowledge in your organization and start putting together your list for migration, or you can get in touch with CA Services to accelerate the migration if there is a need for that. While John is answering the question regarding installation, the next one is, will the system offer clickable reports like extraction? And the answer is yes. You can click the reports, you can drill down, you can link it to stub reports, etc. So all of that is possible with the new technology. Will Business Objects Webby will still be supported? So WebE is web intelligence component of the Business Objects technology, and it will be supported for customers who have CABI 4.1. They purchased service management products prior to March 31st, 2016. So yes, it will be supported, but in this new technology, WebE is not relevant. It's a SAP technology. So in CABI 6.2, it's not relevant. But if you are using it with CABI 4.1, and it will be supported in that case until end of 2018. Can Jaspersoft be installed on the same server as CABI 4.1? It can be. We haven't tested that scenario in-house, but technically I don't see a reason why it would not work on the same server. What version of STM does this work with? That's a great one. I didn't include that information in my slides. So CABI 6.2 is available for Service Management 14.1 products, meaning CSDM 14.1, Service Catalog 14.1, and Asset Portfolio Management 14.1, along with the latest cumulative patch. We have tested this technology in our QA labs along with the latest cumulative patch. So make sure you have 14.1 and the related cumulative patch to install and integrate this technology. Question from Terry is, when can we get a view of the administrative console? So Terry, if you're talking about the administrative console of the reporting technology, you can, we did not include a demo in this session. So if you want to take a look at it, you can watch Jaspersoft videos, you can go to the online portal, or you can just install it and take a look at it in your environment. The question is from Chandan. We are existing CA customer with SDM 12.7 with CABI 3.2 and going to upgrade to 14.1 in a couple of months. Do we get CABI 4.1 or CABI 6.2? Chandan, if you are an existing service management customer, just upgrading from a prior release to the newest or the latest, you can continue using CABI 4.1 in your environment. Now, just to add to that response, because you cannot get that DVD or the download information from the download page, you may have to contact CA support to obtain your copy of CABI 4.1. However, I would like to mention that this is a good opportunity for you to go ahead and leverage the latest technology, which is CABI 6.2, so that you are not looking at a migration effort in future. So you are entitled to get CABI 4.1, but you may rather want to implement CABI 6.2 just to avoid a migration effort in future. Question from Molly is, if we choose to engage CA for assistance in migration, is that cost covered as an existing customer, or will that be an additional cost? Molly, that will be at additional cost. It will be a separate CA services engagement. The question from Oscar is, does it support another languages like Spanish? Great question again. So currently it is English only, the build that we have posted last week. We are working on making the installation possible and the core software translated in various other languages that we support. However, CABI 6.2 as a technology has the foundational elements where you can translate your content in various languages that are supported. I don't have the list right now, but there are a number of languages that are supported by Jaspersoft as a technology. And you can build your content. You can use the procedure to translate the content and use it in your environment. So localization and translation of custom content is very much possible in the tool. We are working on expanding the knowledge support in the core technology in our future releases. Question from Joff is, how users will access reports? Are they going to be available from the Reports tab in SDM? No. So in the first release, the reports are not going to be available through the Reports tab in SDM. Jaspersoft comes with a reports repository server, much like what you had in InfoView if you are familiar with CABI 4.1. So you access your reports through the report repository. And in future releases, we are going to consider the integration with the products where the reports can be accessed more seamlessly. A question from Jose is, will PDM time functions available? If you are talking about the functions that are available through SDM, yes, they will continue to be available because that has nothing to do with the reporting technology. It's rather an SDM construct, which will continue to be available through the drivers that we have added to support the new technology. And just to add on the driver component, in prior versions of CABI to CABI 4.1, we had custom ODBC driver in SDM, which allowed connection between CA Business Intelligence and SDM. This release onwards, we have included a JDBC driver as well, which allows connection between CABI 6.2 and SDM. So all SDM functions should be available to you like they were available earlier. Question from Tammy, will you include a demo of product today? Tammy, unfortunately, no. We had planned only a slideware session today to talk about the release, to field some basic questions here. If there is a need, we can certainly consider a demo in future. Question from Bob, will the new system utilize the custom ODBC server on the SDM machine? Yes, it will. The new technology will utilize the SDM server, but you will have to install the JDBC driver that I just described. And how to install the JDBC driver, how to configure it, that information should be available from documentation. Next question is from Tammy. When will CABI 6.2 be linked to SDM menu tabs? So Tammy, currently the reports tab is not integrated with CABI 6.2, and we do plan to integrate CABI 6.2 in service management products in future so that reports can be accessed more seamlessly from within product interfaces. Question from Ted is, what about integration with the SDM, similar to Boxy? Ted, yes. For the most part, the integration between the reporting technology and SDM would be similar to what it used to be with Boxy. There may be a few steps here and there that you would need to follow differently, and those steps are documented. Will there be standard reporting for SAM? And I assume you are referring to Software Asset Manager, CSAM. So this release does not include SAM reports out of the box. You can very well use the tool in context of SAM to build custom reports. In future, we are considering SAM as one of the capabilities to enable out-of-the-box content development, but that remains on our backlog. Question from Joyce is, currently SD surveys results and customer comments are being created using Crystal reports. Can Jaspersoft create survey reports? And the answer is yes. The equivalent of Crystal reports is Jaspersoft Studio. So you can very well go ahead and create the reports that you had in Crystal reports using Jaspersoft Studio, as long as you have the query details and visualization elements designed. Next question is, so if we have HTML 12.9, sounds like we will need to upgrade. Yes, you'll need to upgrade to 14.1 if you want to use CABI 6.2 technology. The next question is, Jasper will extract from object layer or directly to database? The answer is it depends. If you are building SDM reports, we recommend that you always use the JDBC driver hooked to the object layer, do not go to the database directly, to make sure that your data partition rules and data security rules are being honored. But for service catalog and asset portfolio management reports, you can very well go ahead and connect directly to MDB. Question from Frank is the Linux release of Jaspersoft still on track to be released on time? Frank, for service management, the bundled offering we are talking about today, we aren't considering the Linux release as of now. But if you think that's the need, we would definitely like to collaborate over this idea in community and put that on our backlog. So the question is, and I probably need some clarification around that. What I have heard now from CA, you have incorporated something that is not ready yet for production environment. Okay, at least you gave TIBCO 2 years to develop this as working integration, right? So I'm not sure I quite understand the background behind this question. But the integration that we have included in this release is of production quality. So you can very well go ahead and build your content, test your content in pre-prod and deploy that in production. What you may have heard in the past is around the performance challenges when you use the domains or self-service BI constructs of Jaspersoft. And a lot in that area depends on how you design your semantic layer, how you design your joins behind the scene. So a lot depends on your building blocks for self-service BI. So in this release, for service management, we have included out-of-the-box content, which uses Jaspersoft Studio. And for reports, we have directly used queries. So that's going to be that's going to be perfectly fine from a performance standpoint, and we have tested that in our QA labs. But if you are building your domains using the technology, just be conscious of the fact that joins and the underlying constructs of domains have to be tailored effectively to support your performance needs. A question from Walter is, will Jaspersoft be incorporated in BSI, Business Service Insight? Walter, currently we are not considering inclusion of Jaspersoft in BSI, but this idea has been posted by a couple of customers, and what we would love to see is probably more ideation and collaboration in communities for the product team to determine whether we should include it or not in future. Question from Tom is, could you throw up some recommended links in the forum to watch, refer to for the Jaspersoft overview? So Tom, yes, you can visit communities. We have posted an FAQ page. Take a look at that. It'll take you to Wiki, and there are so many other external links. And the best place to start with is TIBCO Jaspersoft online learning portal, which has wealth of material that can accelerate your learning. Question from Mo is, we are using Boxy offline reporting. Will the setup for CABI 6.2 be similar? Yes, for the most part, Mo. So offline reporting is currently based on the database replication technology provided by the SQL Server. So the replication part of the offline reporting would work as it works today in case of Boxy. The remainder portion of your offline reporting configuration would include configuring your reporting instances with SCM in the offline environment, or if it is catalog or ID Asset Manager, then configuring that to your offline instance of MDB. Question from Lars is, how long can we stay on 12.9? Trying to understand the roadmap since we have many reports that need to be migrated. We are a large Fortune 500 company. So Lars, we have not yet announced end of service for 12.9. However, the reporting technology that was delivered with 12.9 is based on Business Objects 3.x, which is no longer supported by SAP nor by CA. However, you can continue using that in your environment, and at any point in time when you consider moving to 14.1, which we would recommend that you do sooner, to not just for the reporting technology, but to reap the benefits of the greatest and best service management that we have delivered with 14.1. So once you plan your move to 14.1, that would be the best time to implement CABI 6.2 technology and integrate with your environments. Question from David is around scalability. What are the server requirements for CABI 6.2? Are there ways to scale the solution? David, yes. So you can find the exact hardware requirements by going to the documentation wiki. And yes, there are ways to load balance and scale the CABI 6.2 implementation. And you can find the details both in our documentation as well as Jaspersoft online material. Question from Daniel is there any BI Launchpad or similar product to easily view the reports for the new Jaspersoft suite? Yes, it's called the report repository, and that's the place where you will access all out-of-the-box reports and other reports that you would be building in your custom implementation. So that view is very similar to what BI Launchpad provided, and the structure of organizing reports in folders and subfolders look very similar to that of Boxy as well. So the next question is the Jasper's license allows connection to other CA solutions like Spectrum for data cross reports. Spectrum also delivers Jaspersoft capabilities, the new technology in the latest releases. Now, the license included in the solution is limited to use of the technology within that solution's boundary, meaning for service management it is limited to using the technology in context of service management. However, given the fact that Spectrum's latest version also delivers Jaspersoft, you can very well use the Jaspersoft instance to hook to the right data sources and build your reports that that encompass multiple product data. A question from Krista, can we use pass-through authentication in Jasper like in SDM? We will have to get back to you on that question, Krista. If you're asking about SSO capabilities, we'll get back to you on that question. I'm not very sure. I think it does, but I'll need to check and confirm on that. The next one is, I see most users here mention Jasper with SDM integration. We use now the Spectrum 10.1.1, which has also the possibility to integrate JasperReports through Spectrum Report Manager to CABI server. Can we install Jasper on our CABI server for both reports? You can, because all it would require is different data sources, and then you can build Spectrum as well as SDM reports on the respective data sources. Apart from the list of OOTB reports, do you have samples of these reports, or do we have to install and run the reports ourselves? I'm not very sure I get that question. So you can install the OOTB reports that come along with the software on the same DVD, and you will find the reports under report repository. Once the installation is successful, you can run those reports yourselves. But if you are building your custom content, you'll have to make sure that you follow the procedure, you have the right data sources, and you can install and run the reports yourself. If the question was related to packaging of content, the out-of-the-box reports are packaged in one package. It's like a zip file. And when you are building custom content in your environment, you can package all of that in a single package by using the export-import driven packaging mechanism that's supported by Jaspersoft. Referring to graphics and charts on reports, what is the difference between Jasper and extraction? Which would be better? So both Jasper and extraction have rich charting, chart library and report creation capability in terms of the visual elements. However, extraction goes much beyond as far as the underlying content or semantic layer is concerned, as it comes as a prepackaged partner offering. In Jaspersoft, you'll have to build the semantic layer yourself to enable self-service BI. But as far as the visualization is concerned, they have both very rich capability in terms of the chart library. The Jasper Studio continue to use the universe concept similar to Boxy. Not the studio component of Jaspersoft. However, the universe concept of Boxy can be equated with the domains of Jaspersoft, and and domains essentially enable self-service BI, the drag and drop driven analysis in Jaspersoft. Is it easier to create reports rather than in Boxy? Is there any limitation on creating reports regarding custom tables or custom fields? The report creation in Jaspersoft is much easier, like John is saying. It depends how are you looking at report creation. If you are creating very complex reports and you are leveraging Jaspersoft Studio, as long as a developer you have knowledge of the underlying schema and queries, and in case of custom tables and fields, if you understand where those fields and tables are and you are including them in your query, you are good. Jaspersoft does not impose any limitation in terms of whether you can include custom tables or fields or not. What is important is whether you have all that information with you, but building the report in Studio is easy, and it's much like how it used to be. If you are comparing it with Boxy technology, then it's much like how it used to be the Crystal Reports development. But it becomes a lot easier once you have figured out your domains, and then you are doing self-service BI using drag and drop, analysis. So report creation in that case is much easier, as you are not finding out the internals of it. You are not looking at joins or anything like that. You are just looking at your business objects and fields and dragging and dropping them on your report canvas and achieving the ultimate report that you want to build. Question from Nora is, in Jasper, can we schedule and send the reports by email? Nora, I think the answer is yes, but I would like to park this question. We'll get back to you with an answer in communities. I'll add this to the FAQ if we cannot answer it now.
Okay, everybody, we have just a few more minutes. Any more last-minute questions? I think you got one more there, Rajiv.
Question from Sudeep. Also, does it have sort of CABI 4.x publication concept? You can schedule and publish your reports, but we cannot probably map it one-to-one between 4.1 and 6.2. So there are nuances and specifics, Sudeep, but if you mean by publication whether you can schedule and publish something for consumption by executive users, you can very well do that in CABI 6.2. Yep, so scheduling and sending the report through email should be possible. Question from Mo. You said typical online learning portal is free. Is this also true for premium content? Yeah, it is available to service management customers without any additional cost, and you can access the premium content. You'll have to register to the portal though, and how to register and get access to the portal, that information is available through our DocOps wiki. Great, thanks, Tammy. Yeah, that's the link to find more details at. Can I build several universes similar to Boxy? Of course you can. You can build several domains in this new technology and use it much like how you use universes in Boxy.
Okay, Rajiv, I think there's one last question from Krista, and then we'll be wrapping up.
Yep, so Krista's question is, you mentioned extraction for dashboarding. Why can't JS handle this by itself? Well, JS can very well handle dashboarding. So my apology if I confuse the two concepts. Extraction can be used for dashboarding as well as ad hoc analysis. So is Jaspersoft. And the difference is that extraction comes with curated content. That semantic layer is available because it's a partner offering. But in Jaspersoft, you'll have to build that semantic layer to enable ad hoc analysis and drag and drop friendly reporting. So you can very well build your dashboards, or rather dashlets, and pin them together as dashboards. and you can schedule them, send them through email. You can hook them to your applications outside of Jaspersoft interface. So dashboarding is very much possible with Jaspersoft, and it's easy to use as well. Nina, your question with respect to, I'm not sure which question are you referring to. We can go back to that question. There is nothing inappropriate or inappropriate in this forum. We would love to connect with you and answer easy or difficult question. So please feel free to put your question in community, and we'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, Rajiv, I think we're at the top of the hour, so we're going to need to stop. But I do see Nina's question, so maybe we'll have something that we can add to the Q&A. So we are at the top of the hour, folks. Thank you, everyone, for participating today. We will be posting the recording in the community, and we will post the Q&A as well. Some of the questions were answered verbally, so we might not have responses for everything. But if you do have an additional question, please do post it in the community and we can get it answered. So, again, thank you, everybody, for participating. Thank you, Rajiv, for the presentation and answering all the questions, as well as John for jumping in and answering all these questions. Everyone have a great day now.
Thank you, everyone, for attending.